Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, and my friends, another week's gone by. You know what time it is. It is time for the latest King of Fighters 15 character trailer, and this week we got Blue Mary reaching on the scene. Blue Mary, longtime King of Fighters stalwart, been in many games, and, well, you can probably figure out she's a fan favorite. So as always, we're going to break down everything in the trailer, and also we're going to talk a little bit about the character of Blue Mary. Who is she and what is she all about? And before you go off screaming, oh man, just look at her, she's definitely my main, hang on, because one, she has some charge move stuff that'll scare some of you off, and also she's a quasi-grappler, so that should scare some more of you off too, just so you know. Now, if you're made of sterner stuff and none of that bothers you, then hey, Blue Mary's actually a super cool character, so I think you'll enjoy her. Now, as for Blue Mary herself, I guess one of the big things to get out of the way is she is legitimately, even though she kind of has her own look, her own personality, definitely her own person, but her initial inspiration is indeed Android 18. Now, that inspiration is purely a physical level thing, right? Blonde hair, blue eyes, haircut, that's about it, but still, that's where it's at. Now, in the games, her profession is that of a private detective, an investigator, and her original job before that was Secret Service guarding the president, which is a job that is getting more popular in fighting games, seemingly as Giovanna from Guilty Gear Strive also is Secret Service guarding the president. Anyways, Blue Mary was going out with this guy named Butch, and they were working the Secret Service together, although one day in the line of duty, Butch unfortunately perished. And that's when she quit the gig and became a private detective instead. As a detective, she is very much for hire, which explains a lot of her team choices, as she's been on quite a few different teams in King of Fighters history. So in her debut, King of Fighters 97, she's part of the Special Team, along with Billy Kane and Yamazaki, and they're there at the behest of Geese Howard to kind of keep watch on this whole Orochi madness. You might have heard of it. Now, in King of Fighters 99, that's the beginning of the NES saga, then she is part of the women's team. This is with King, Kasumi Todo, all that. Now, in King of Fighters 2000-2001, she's then part of the Fatal Fury team, along with the Bogards and Joe Higashi. KOF 2003, she's back on the women's team. And in KOF 11, she's now on the Agents team with Vanessa and Ramon. Suffice to say, very few people have skipped around on teams like Blue Mary has. She's a mercenary. Now, when it comes to plot relevance, she's not one of the more major characters. She's usually the hired muscle of any team, because she's stronger than most of the other people. But her biggest plot relevant moment was all the way back in KOF 97, when it comes to the King of Fighters, as part of the Special Team, and well, she didn't really like being part of that team. She doesn't like Yamazaki, she doesn't like Geese, and she probably wouldn't have took the job to begin with if she knew Geese was behind everything. In her own words, when she found out, she was duped by the Geester, and she would like some measure of revenge against him. Besides that, there's a lot of relationships in King of Fighters, right? But Blue Mary's a little bit more complicated, so she's sort of with Terry Bogard, but sort of not. It's a will they, won't they kind of relationship. Definitely a far cry from like the Mai Shiranui and Andy Bogard relationship, where the only holdup is where's the marriage. They're basically flirting with each other, but nothing's concrete yet, and that's the way it's been for 20-some years. So deep lore, maybe not, but you know what? Who needs deep lore when a lot of your offense is like heel hooks, hard elbows, and breaking bones? Because her fighting style is absolutely savage. Now, in the games, she's a little hard to classify. Despite the fact she has multiple command grabs, I still wouldn't necessarily call her a grappler first. She's kind of weird hodgepodge of stuff. She has very weird grapples like that, which actually is a two-part grapple. The first part is an invincible stance, where you can't be hurt. Then the second part is a grab. Many of her strikes have a hit grab component to them, where if the move hits, then you can go into a grab from there. And if it's blocked, well, then you get nothing. But it's a very big feature among her moves that you get an extra bonus if you manage to land a hit. And like weird stuff in the older games, although it's been changed now, where like her super input is the Raging Demon. So light punch, forward, light kick, heavy punch. That's the actual super input. And maybe I can't classify her as full grappler, but what I can classify her as is vicious. Because you're going to see as many bones broken as like Bayman or Leon for Dead or Alive. She has that kind of moveset. So now on to the trailer itself. One, hey, returning stage, although at a different time of day. So that is pretty interesting. And man, Blue Mary's model, if this doesn't sell you on how much better 15 looks than 14, I don't know what to tell you, man, because the hair and the face are a little bit different. Otherwise, it's the same model, yet it looks completely different and so much better. So on to the gameplay, stuff like this. Stand heavy punch is 2 hits normally. Jumping heavy kick. Down forward light kick as a command normal. That's her blowback or CD. We have here forward throw. Next up we have her back throw, the usual assortment of normals. Next up we get a look at the Mary Breaker, this guy right here. So this is a command grab. It's a little different as it's a hop grab. Like if you ever played Street Fighter, sort of like Alex's flip headbutt. So she does a jump first in the air and then grabs you. Now it hits you standing or crouching, that's fine. And yes, it's a true command grab. But the deal is, due to the fact there's a bit of a hop beforehand, it does give you a little bit of time to react. This specifically is the EX version of the move. Our next move coming up is the EX Spinfall, so this kind of wheel kick here. So regularly, if you hit it, it's one of the moves where you can add an additional input and get a grab out of it. But the EX version does a big bounce, which is obviously combo okay. Now, King of Fighters 15, since you can do EXs whenever you want, versus King of Fighters 14, it's a much bigger deal and more than likely much more useful. Next up, we get a bit of a super showcase. So this is her level 2 Mary Typhoon. This is a command grab super. And well, Typhoon, there you go, just kind of dunks you on your head. And this is a level 2 Mary Splash Rose super. And this is her strike super, so you're going to end a lot of combos with this. A lot of shoulder checks into the big old wheel uppercut into a massive spinning cross arm breaker. Mary loves breaking arms and breaking legs. Now here we go back to the Mary Breaker command grab. You might notice she's canceling it directly from block normals, and that's part of the deal. So since there's a bit of a hop and the delay is much more severe than a regular command grab, you can just special cancel into it, and yes, it will work. Like if you special canceled into a normal command grab on block, you'd whiff because they're blocking, right? But this gives them just enough time to get out of block stun and then the grab will work. It's still telegraphed, right? So this is not something you want to go for every single time, but it is an option available to you. Here we see the return of Red Max mode. So forward light punch, that's her overhead command normal, into Red Max, which has a little bit of run to like Blue Max and 14 does. Another normal command normal, and then to the EX version of vertical arrow. That's her Dragon Punch style of move. And next up here is Real Counter. This is one of the big ones for Blue Mary. So it's 2 separate moves. The German suplex is the second part of the move. The first part where she just kind of holds still for a second, that's a stance and she's invincible during the stance. The very end of it's not invincible, but for the point of the move, everything goes through you. And the second part of the move is the German suplex. So when you enter the Real Counter stance, you can do the German suplex, and the German suplex is a 1-frame command grab. So there's very obviously a lot of defensive applications for having a move with invincible startup, and you can go past a lot of things and then get them with the German suplex. But also, if you're just fast enough on your input, it just becomes an actual command grab, as you just enter the stance very quickly and then enter the command grab from the stance very quickly after that. If you do it like fastest possible timing, it's like anywhere from like a 3 to 5 frame command grab, which is still pretty good, although there's true 1-frame command grabs. Hi Clark, what's up in this game? But if you're fighting someone who doesn't know what's up with this move, you can really, really bully them around and make them feel like they don't know what to do because you're just unstoppable and always invincible. It's pretty good is basically what I'm trying to say. Now here's something new for her compared to King of Fighters 14. So this is her down forward light kick launching command normal into spinfall, which rejuggles into vertical arrow with the finisher. Once again, vertical arrow being one of the moves you can just end with a command grab. So normally this juggle would not work in King of Fighters 14. After you hit them with the spinfall, they're just dunked to the ground. That's it. No rejuggle potential at all. So here we actually have new juggle potential, therefore new combo routes. So perhaps just a glimpse of what's possible in the future. And our final big boy combo, that's forward leg kick right there. It's a 2-hitting command normal, very good. EX leg slicer into the taser, and you're allowed to get a combo state okay hit from the taser into a level 1 super, and then climax cancel into the big level 3 super. And from there, well, here comes a big old power bomb and a big old giant swing. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of combo damage. She's not glowing from blue max, so once again proving you can go into a level 1 into your level 3 with no problems as long as you have the meter. And then, hey, she strikes a lovely pose for the camera. And that is the bulk of the trailer. So besides the gameplay, which we obviously just broke down, and looks pretty good, although she's pretty similar to the base 14 version of Blue Mary other than some of the combo stuff, she's not part of the women's team, which is what I expected. So women's team still yet to be determined, and what team is she going to be on? Hey, who knows? I doubt she'd be on the special team because she hates Geese Howard, she doesn't like Billy, she hates Yamazaki, so I don't think she'd work with them ever again. But she could potentially be on the agents team. Vanessa and Ramon are very popular characters, so honestly I don't doubt for a second they'll show up in the game, so that might be an angle for her team-wise. Although, if that happens, that means there's no more Team Mexico from the last game, so like someone like King of Dinosaurs has to find a new team, but you know what? Goro Daimon needs a new team too, so maybe we can get like a big old big boy conglomeration team going on. Another thing to note, Blue Mary was DLC in King of Fighters 14, so it means all the DLC characters are very fair game come King of Fighters 15. But that said, all in all, solid trailer, happy to see the new look, happy to see how great she looks in the game, and can't wait till next week. Until then, my friends, thank you very much for watching, hope this video has found you well, go out and play some King of Fighters.
Love